Hello, everybody. Welcome back to LoreLink. Doing a quick tech check, make sure that our audio is good and our captions are good, and then we will get started. All right, looks good. Looks good there. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here this evening. Once again, we're going to be doing Paizo Pathfinder's Adventure Path Quest for the Frozen Flame. So I'm going to pull that up in LureLink and we can get going. So we have had a session since the last time we did the stream. So I have got a few notes from my session notes on what I wanted to cover today based upon what we did in the adventure. So quickly, I'm going to run through some of the stuff that we did. I'm going to start by sharing the location. We're in Lost Mammoth Valley. Here's the outline here. This is 26. So this is the location. Let me go to view mode real quick. This is the location where everybody started. And from here, they did a little bit of exploration. So I'll go back to the map really quickly. What they did from here is they explored this entire hex and went up to this location, the corrupted tree. They had an encounter with the elder tree. The tree itself started attacking them because of the corruption that they had faced. They did encounter Bargot the Dryad Husk and were able to defeat the tree and save him and returned him all the way around to the elder tree here at B17. They performed a 24-hour ritual with the Dryad and the Husk hung out there while that was going on, and as a result of everything happening, they were able to save the Dryad and recruit 6 pine leshies that lived in the root of the elder tree to join them. See, then they made it back up here to Fair's Homestead, which is where the following has been encamped. When they arrived there, they were presented with a new item, Metwak's pendant. I believe we have that in here. Yep, here we go. So this pendant is something that used to be owned by Metwak, who is the person they figured out stole the flame, the frozen flame that they're looking for, and certainly is an evil individual. But what they discovered is that someone that was helping clear out the caves after they went through the caves at the beginning of this adventure discovered this and put it on, and they've been seeing visions. And so they started talking to people about the visions, and everybody decided that it needed to go to the group. And so they were presented with the pendant and given a rundown of some of the different visions that had been associated with it. And they realized that some of these visions are based upon places that they have been exploring around in the valley. So they're starting to get a piece of how these visions are helping them piece together how Metwak had come through the valley and the things that had happened a long time ago. One of the characters asked the question if Metwak and Ashen Swale, who's the current big bad in the area, could possibly be the same person. So that's something they're going to be exploring. The next thing they're going to do, so they found this dark camp here. They found this location, but opted not to explore it. They are going to, next session, they're going to come down here and take a look at this location. So I'm going to start by checking that out. I'm also going to come into our session notes. So that was session 19, Saving the Dryad and Exploring the Mountain. So we did in fact save the Dryad, but did not explore the mountain. So we didn't get that far. I was overly optimistic. That's fine. So they did the corrupted tree. They did the cold spot. A lot of these things they did not do. So we're going to edit this. Going to select the incomplete ones with the selected, move to an existing session, session 20. Okay. So the ones that we did are still in here. So now we're going to go back to the sessions. We're going to look at session 20. We're going to come in here, and we're going to find that all of these locations are in here. The elder tree, we're not going to come back here, so I'm going to go ahead and unlink that. B14 is where they're going to start. They're probably going to do these other things, but we're going to find out. They're actually technically starting at Vera's Homestead. That's where they are right now. So actually, that's a good point. I am going to put in session notes here that they did end up at Vera's Homestead. Let's make a note and link that. Okay. They got there, they did what they needed to do in that location. So we're good here. So now I'm going to call this completed. So 18 is complete, 19 is completed. Oh, I need to edit that as well. Save the dryad. Now we're going to create a session 21 as a planning session. This one is more than likely going to be planning to take on the tower. This is in planning. Oh, do you need a description? Oh, right. Apparently, I accidentally deleted that. Save it. So we're going to edit 21, which is, instead of planning, is going to be my active session. It's the one. It's the next one up. Double check my calendar. Make sure I get my dates right. All right. And they're exploring the mountain. Okay, so they're going to start at Vera's Homestead. They're going to go to the Dark Camp, and then they're going to do some other things. I need all these locations in here. I'm actually going to mark Vera's Homestead as completed to indicate the fact that that's where they're starting, and there's nothing left for them to do there specifically. Obviously, if they want to do some downtime activities while they're in camp, they're more than welcome to do that. And those are the locations that we expect they might possibly be able to get to. So let me go ahead and pull up the map again. So we're looking at 20, 21, 22, 23. 20, 21, 22, 23, the Dark Camp, Vera's Homestead, and then potentially 19. Where's B19? Oh, up there. I don't think they're going to get up there, actually. I really don't think they're going to go up there. I could be wrong. I'll leave it in here. But it feels like they're just going to skip that hex entirely. So we're going to find out what happens here. I'm also not super clear. So one of the things they have the opportunity to do, so down here is a deserter encampment. They met, these are basically deserters from one of the campaigns to the World Wound. And so there's a group of folks that came here. They basically chased down some demons and are working on routing them out. And their assistance was offered to the party for tackling the tower. but they would have to help do some work for this group to purge the area of the demons. They have opted not to do that work, and therefore will not get their assistance for taking on the tower. So we'll see if they change their mind about that or not. Be interesting to find out. And this is one of the things about GMing, right? That's super interesting. Like, you never know for sure what is going to go down. What are everybody going to do? Don't know. So, be fun to find out. All right. So let's go ahead and take a peek at B14. There it is. I want to read through this because this is where they're starting. They're going to have another vision of this area. Let me double check in my notes. That was not one of the related visions that they had. So they will get this vision. Huh. There's a negative resistance 5 against negative damage for 24 hours. Games on the river. The site was corrupted. Can be determined that it was last used a century ago. And there are 2 shadows lying in wait. Okay. We have those linked here to Archives of Nethys, so I think that is sufficient for this encounter. Obviously, shadows are gross, but they could always just choose to evade. Intimidation check to keep them at bay. Nice touch. Need to not forget that. That's a nice way of being able to handle them. Okay, so that's a great way to start. Again, next up on the locations, let's look at the mountain pass, the waymarker. Nothing much here. Started constellation. Those are just the notes that they'll want. It doesn't say a whole lot of anything. The mountain pass. Oh, right. There's a hazard. It's a haunt. Burning mammoths from long ago appear alongside the party, walking the mountain pass as one of the united following. This one is beneficial. A character who notices the haunt realizes it doesn't feel malevolent. Each creature that witnesses the vision gets a status bonus to will saving throws and skill checks for 24 hours. That's almost rude. I'm gonna say for a week. Like, screw that. So here's the thing. We're doing a hexploration. So we're going through all of these different hexes. Coming back to the top here. They're going through all these hexes, but it's like, this is rugged terrain. It's going to be a minimum of 3 days to fully explore this hex. So giving them a bonus that only lasts for 24 hours means nothing. Congratulations, it's going to maybe be useful for the next site in this hex that they encounter. Whatever. So I'm going to make that a 1 week benefit so that it may actually serve them good for an encounter or 2, possibly, depending where they choose to go. Because I think it's rude to give a benefit that the players are unlikely to ever be able to use. I'm going to give it a 24-hour reset, though, so it's only going to activate once a day. And I'm going to call this for 7 days. So we're going to make that little tweak to that and save it. And this is stuff that I like. Again, this is why I'm doing this planning exercise, right? I want to make sure that everything's working okay there. Now, can everybody hear me? Because I just got a note that my mic is off, but okay. I'm not seeing it, hearing anything, so apparently I'm okay. Cool, thanks. Yeah, so part of the planning exercise, right, is to look for things that just don't make sense in context. And this is, honestly, this is something that was an error on the part of the writer of the adventure, in my opinion, because it's just nonsensical. I see why they would want to do that in a normal adventure where maybe a lot's going to happen over the next 24 hours, but in this adventure, not going to happen. So try to catch those things and look for any notes on like strategy or how to run an encounter to make sure that anything that I need to think about during that time is accounted for and present. Give me 1 second to pull up the chat because I realized that I couldn't quite see my chat in the corner here. There we go. Now I can see the chat. Wolf Mom, thanks for being here this evening. Appreciate it. Always here for the spoilers. I get how it goes. Wolf Mom is perfectly capable of handling handling a situation where too much knowledge is had. She's good at that. So, all right, I had notes on what I wanted to cover next, so I just wanted to make sure that I had everything set up for the next session. So we've got that part done. We recapped the actual play session. Cool. We have the next session details set up. Cool. I wanted to do all those types of things. 2 different places that I can go from here. One of them is reputation. So there's a concept in here. Let me switch my display really quickly. I want to show you more of the screen. Okay, so in the adventure book, there's the concept of reputation. And I haven't been doing a good job of tracking that or really sharing with the players what their status is. Get a career reputation points as a measure of how well known and respected the party is among Lost Mammoth Valley's denizens. So, in order to track this, what I'm going to do is create a new tag for reputation so that I can tag the things that might affect reputation. It also gives me a place to store this description. Rather than Game Mastery Guide, I'm going to look at a couple things here. Reputation. We'll link to the reputation rules, and then we'll also AON, running reputation, and we'll add the running reputation link as well because I can see needing to look at those. So let's go ahead and read those together. Using reputation points in the background allows you to track the PC's status with a variety of groups. Okay, useful for sandbox campaigns like this one. Yes. Use common sense. Okay, it's fair. Okay. Mid to long-term subsystem. or they can accumulate or lose reputation points. Yes. So fortunately, the adventure path has mostly calculated this stuff for us. It'll be interesting to see kind of where things line up here in a minute. So we'll save this. So now I have a reputation tag. I can start to tag things. A20. Oh, interesting. Let's look at I didn't even create that location, so that's fun. I'm going to go ahead and create the secluded plateau then. I think the secluded plateau is here inside of the caves. Indeed, double checking. Oh. There we go, much better. Then I don't need to go into a lot of detail here since this is for an area that has already been run. But I will come in here and add the reputation tag and add the reputation notes. So because the party can gain up to 6 reputation points here. The party helps the hunters tend to their wounded, deal only non-lethal damage to the hunters, refrain from injuring the hunters at all, gain a reputation point. Boom, that's 1. They got that. The party returns the possessions of the dead Sutaki from Area 21. Oh, they never went into 21. Haha, so they did not do that. Okay. Well, well, well. So they gain a reputation point, but they didn't do that. They escort the injured hunter here. Well, they escorted everybody together. So there's 2. If they arrive with everybody, 3. So that's 5 reputation right there. Okay. So give me a second to go into my GM notes from pre-lore link. A20. All right, so that was session 13. So what I'm going to do, save this, go into sessions. Let's look at, show all the sessions. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and create session 13 as a completed session. This was from 2023. Come on, calendar, you can do it. This is completed. And we're going to save this. And then session 13, we're going to come into this and we're going to add a note. Gain 5 reputation. Okay. Also going to keep a quick little notepad open in the corner here, and just reputation currently is at 5 based on what we're doing here. So this was something that I realized when I was running the last adventure, that I had just not gone through and done the work to find all of this. So it's something I have to do sometime, so we might as well do it here together. Here we go. A21, we didn't do that, so I'm going to skip it. Okay. While with the broken tusk escape from Calamity Caves, you have opportunities to ally with others while earning reputation points. Okay, got it. Factions of the Valley. Sutaki, neither necromancer nor rebel. They're people trying to survive, measured by their reputation. Okay, most live within Layuba, Area C. So we're not anywhere near there yet. Ver, Nexus. Okay. Next. Ah, Turkic. Okay, so this is, yes, one of the things I wanted to do is actually spend a little bit more time working on Turkic. So this is interesting. So after Turkic, okay, so this is in B32D, which exists already. Okay, so let's go into B32D. I have, okay, reputation, perfect right there. So they can gain up to 4 more reputation with that. So what we're going to do is save this and then add the reputation flag so that I don't forget about it. Next. All right, 34. So a lot of the reputation is apparently much later. So I guess one of the reasons I haven't awarded a lot of reputation and been tracking it is there's not been a lot of opportunities for it yet. So if I look through here, see 34 right here, we haven't even 34, 35, 3, 32, 31. There's 35s up there, but I haven't even gotten there. So, nothing to do here at the moment. So that's fine. Looks like, let's see if there's anything at 32, 33. We've already through that. 30, 38 or 47. Okay, let's look at 47. 47, there we go. Locations 47. Oh, I don't actually have 47 in here. I thought I had 47 in here. Confused. Back to edit mode, Brasspire. It's in Lost Mammoth Valley. I don't know why I didn't see it. Okay. For earning Sigil of the Blood Owls, the characters gain 2 reputation points. Okay, so we've got the note already, but I need to add the tag. Okay, so we'll save that. Now that I've gone through and done this, if I go back to the tags list and I click on reputation, I see associated locations. These are the places where they can earn reputation. Okay, so now I have a way of keeping an eye on that, and I will note that if I come in here, I'm going to create a new note that says earned +5, sorry, 5 reputation, not 4, and 5 reputation. And it's secret from players because I don't necessarily need to show them the reputation at the moment. So we have their reputation score now. I want to look ahead again really quickly. We can earn reputation. Oh, they can lose reputation there. Chapter 3, here it is. Do they have enough to earn the villagers' trust? 0 to 10, total strangers. 11 to 20. They'll look the other way, but won't lie to Ash and Swale for them. At 21 to 30, they'll lie to Ash and Swale to aid the party and help hide them. At 31 to 40, nearly all of them will lie to Ash and Swale and offer them minor gifts or favors. And at 40 plus, they have totally earned the trust of the Sataki leaders. Now, let's go back. Let's go back to the very, very beginning. Because I want to just do a quick tally. How many opportunities there are? 6. Seven, 8, 9, 10. 11. Ah. 12, 13, 17. 18, 19. 20. 21, 22, 23. 25, 26, 27. They could lose some there. Interesting. So by the time we get to chapter 3, 27 reputation is the most they could possibly have. And I would say that getting over 20 would be pretty challenging. So they'll probably end up somewhere in here. It'd be pretty hard for them to have less than 11. But they can't possibly have more than 30 at this stage if they do absolutely everything, which is highly unlikely because it might involve going out of the way in a few places. So we can assume that we're going to end up here. So let's go ahead and go back to the reputation tag. I'm going to go ahead and make a note of that here. So create a note. Prior maximum reputation available before. I can't spell and type when people are watching me clearly. Before chapter 3 is 27. Almost definitely. Greater than 11. Definitely under 30. Most likely is going to be 21 to 30, 21 plus range. And it could be a little bit less. So that gives me a note that will help me understand what the expectation should be on reputation by chapter 3. I'm going to go ahead and bold this. So that means that they'll let the party in, and some of them might even allow the party to hide with them, but they're going to have to move on quickly and build reputation quickly in chapter 3 to avoid some major issues. So that's going to be an interesting way to handle that. Okay, cool. which makes sense. They can build some reputation before really meeting the people, but they can't build big reputation until afterwards. So that tracks. So that is the next thing that I wanted to do. Yeah, they really do like reputation. And NPC influence. I actually haven't played with the NPC influence tracking system yet. I don't hate the reputation system, but it is a little bit of work to keep tabs on. So I'm going to make a note of maybe finding a better way to do it than what I've just done. But for now, this will work. Okay, the next thing that I had in my list to look at today is maybe building out a timeline. I can create a timeline, or I can work on prepping Turkic. Let's go ahead and look at Turkic real quick, and then I'll kill some time with the timeline. I think it'll be fun to create the timeline, but this is probably the really big encounter. Okay. Let's go to villains. Turkic. There's Turkic. Okay. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to switch again, focus on the Chrome window for a moment. And then I'm going to try to save this image so that I can load it up. Sometimes images extract nicely and sometimes they don't, so it can be tricky. But I don't feel like sharing my entire hard drive with everybody. It's generally better not to do that. Turkic. Let's see if that worked. Twitch files. Absolutely worked-ish. Okay, cool. Nice. So what we're going to do, we have the villain Turkic here then. What we're going to do is add an image. Hey, apparently I uploaded a photo of myself. Good for me. Quest for the Frozen Flame. Turkic. I did spell it right, didn't I? Yeah, okay. Write up some alt text there. Necromancer Turkic. And then we'll upload the image. So we have Turkic here. And save. Now, select Turkic and insert and save. So now if I switch to view mode, we see the image for Turkic shows up there. back to edit mode. You can see the image is kind of in the background now of the villain. So now let's look at, let's go back to screen. So you can see the details here. So what we're going to do is look at the details. So Turkic, I think I've copied all this stuff over. Female human vampire necromancer. Good times. Let's blood sense. Okay, I don't know blood sense. I can guess. I don't know that rule. Blood sense. Nope. Here we go. Oh, there's actually a whole entry on Turkic in here. That's cool. Save that link. Actually, I'll caption it. Blood sense. Any details? Anything? No, of course not. Like, presumably, I understand what that would be as a form of other sense, but I did not realize the adventure path NPCs are present in this. That's actually really cool because like there's a lot of details here. Negative healing, that makes sense. All the skills, darkness, yeah. That's everybody's favorite thing to hate, getting slammed with darkness. Wand of widening. Increase the area. Oh. Nice. That's cool. I like that. Persistent bleed, blood hardened sealing wounds. Oh, okay. Automatically passes her next flat check to recover from the triggering of persistent bleed. Okay. 30-foot sanguine aura. Wounds heal slowly and blood flows faster. The flat check to stop persistent bleed is 16 rather than 15. Yikes. Each time a creature in the emanation takes persistent bleed, it takes 1d6 additional bleed. Let me guess. 1d6 persistent bleed. Hello. Brutal. So we have darkness and bleeding. Hope nobody's too squeamish because gross. So this GMs, this is an opportunity to maybe, yeah, seriously. This is an opportunity to maybe get really graphic with your players to totally gross them out, to really get them into the mood, or maybe not, depending on your players and how squeamish they are. This is a perfect opportunity to bring up the concept of consent in your games. Make sure everybody's on the same page with the level of detail you bring to the table. Like sanguine mist. Blood-sucking fog, exactly what I want to run into. Okay. Takes 6d6 negative damage. Okay. Blood Vendetta is you've been damaged, piercing, slashing, and persistence. Requirements, you can bleed. Blood sense is defined differently for all three of them. Somehow that tracks. Like, the fact that it's not even in here at all, I wonder if it's actually in. It's in there only. Maybe it's in some of the back matter. Let me look at the toolbox. let me see here. We've got all kinds of stuff. Primordial flame, spray, blood. Blood sense there. All right, it's not that. Nah, nothing there. I got nothing. It's not really defined here. I'm just gonna assume that it's like most other imprecise senses, but I might have to do a little bit more digging on that one. Defined in their stat block. Blood sense imprecise. See, I would have gone with I would have automatically assumed the blood hag interpretation there. It's the presence of blood or creatures with blood. But blood boars is a lot more like, I guess, natural creatures. Yeah, it's super weird that it's not defined in this specific location. Like, trying to figure out from the information in here if the goal is for Turkek to be able to identify that they're coming, or if the goal is for Turkek to know how best to apply their abilities. And that's not super obvious. So, like, for example, Siphon Blood requirement. A creature within Turkic Sanguinora is taking persistent bleed damage. So, presumably, she would need to know that. But I would imagine that that's not too hard to know by looking, but then darkness, so maybe it's a way for her to know somebody is bleeding even if she can't see them. Interesting. Okay. That's fine. So make things bleed a lot and keep them that way. That's really what I'm seeing here. I will switch back to. I saw the note that maybe this is running a little bit smoother when it's just this, so. Invisibility, spider climb, false life. Oh, perfect. We got darkness and invisibility. Deal with other dead. Yes. Okay. Heal from other people's bleeding. That's amazing. Okay. So what we're going to do is make a little note in here. Okay, so we're going to try to use stealth and deception initially to avoid being attacked. Because there's a lot of abilities in here like that. So, for example, what is the stealth? We have stealth, a decent stealth. We have good deception. There's ghost sound. There's invisibility, false life. False life is different. So that is just a prep. Connect projectile, mage hand. Yes, grim tendrils. 30-foot line. Okay. So we want to keep the party within range of aura and or abilities and cause bleeding. So much bleeding. Heal when necessary from all the bleeding. Got it. So those will be my notes on that, how to run that character. And so Turkek is in the location, the Ashen Tower, I believe here. Oh, it's in the attack on the yurt. That's perfect. Turkic, and that shows up. We got necromancers, 2 necromancers and Turkic at that location. Perfect. Okay, cool. Looks good. I think that's enough for that. So the last thing that I wanted to do is set up the timeline. So what we're gonna do, so we have the Broken Tuskman timeline of the first adventure. I didn't really do a lot with it. I kind of started to play around with it, but we're going to create a timeline for this phase of the adventure for Lost Mammoth Valley. So I'm going to create a Lost Mammoth Valley timeline. Okay. Calamity Caves. At the start of the adventure, somewhere in here, there is a calendar, some dates and stuff. After delaying their pursuers, they get into the caves. Actually, I think it may be after they get out of the caves. They use the calendar as kind of a timekeeping for when bad things start happening based on how long it works. There it is. So it's starting in chapter 2, Blue Sky, Green Earth. So we're actually going to edit this. This is the Mammoth Valley timeline. Okay. You have, it will be weeks before the burning mammoths can pursue us. You bought us time to resupply and recuperate, but the valley is dangerous. We need to continue our journey east come autumn. Okay. So I have actually been tracking that during the sessions. So let's see if I can find, where did we start? In here, there we go. Started Hexploration session 15. All right, here we go. By the end of Serenith, the broken tusk should be out of Calamity Caves. By the end of Erastus, the party should reach Mount Geliac. Or adjacent hexes, and by the end of Erodus, the party should enter Sutaki territory. Oh, they're way ahead of schedule. We're fine. All right. I think they're fine. I'm going to double check that, though. So, let's go ahead and create some intervals for this. Actually, let me pull up the first adventure right quick. See if there's any calendars. Nope. What's the West for the Frozen Flame? There was Night of the Green Moon. I don't know when Night of the Green Moon begins tonight. They're super fuzzy with when it is because they want the characters to do specific things before that point rather than have it at a specific point in time, if that makes sense. Yeah. Ignoring some hexes is fine, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that. And it really, that's the beauty of a sandbox, right? You can choose how quickly you want to rush through or not. I really don't see any details about when exactly the Night of the Green Moon is. So here, we'll just do this. Serenith. Oops. In Serenith is actually that was the race through you would think I could remember. This is the journey to Red Cat Cave. Fleeing the Burning Mammoth, that's what we'll call it. So I don't have a year. Let's look up Serenith. Anything? No. There it is. Absalom Reckoning. That's what I'm looking for. That's fine. There we go. Serenith, Sola, 30 days. So let's check a couple other little things in here. See if they happen to have it. The Green Moon? No. Okay. Worth a shot. So we'll just say that the adventure starts sometime in Desness. I think I have a number of days. So many days just moving through hex maps, like so many days. So we'll just fake it. We'll say that it starts at 30 and ends at 60. For long business. So I'm going to say it starts at 32. 62. Because we have 31 before that. All right. So counting days. So that's Saranath, June. And then we're going to add another interval. This is going to be 63. We're going to add it up. 31. July. This is effectively going through explore to Mount Galeoch. That's where we're supposed to be at that point in time. So we'll go ahead and do that. Create a new interval. So 95. This is going to be Erodus. Erodus. It's 31 days. Okay. Erodus is Intersitaka territory. And finally, we've got 2 more in here. This is already like a lot, but let's go ahead and create them. We've got 127. And then we have Rova. Rova is 30. Okay, so they're keeping it pretty consistent. Enter Layuba. And lastly, we have Lamashan. What was that, 157? 58. That's 31. All right. And in Lamashan, we should defeat Venexus. Defeat Venexus, reclaim the primordial flame, and leave the Lost Mammoth Valley with their following. Yeah, that's tall order there, tall order. Cool. So now we have those sections. Those are the months on the calendar. So now I can start to go through October. So session 15. I'm going to put the end date, because that's what I was keeping track of. So I'm going to add associate session. I don't have session 15 in here, so let's go ahead and create that. We're going to stub that out. So we've got missing sessions, so we're going to go ahead and create those. So session 15. This was that's not right. I went the wrong direction with those. There we go. Completed So now I can add that session, session 15. The index as Erastus. Okay, so Erastus starts at 63. So that'd be plus 871. So I need to change that to 271. Nope. Theoretically. Let's work on that. All right, so we've got session 15 here at 71. I'm going to add a, can I add a note in here? I cannot add a note in here. All right. That's fine. Let's go ahead and add the rest of these sessions. So session 16, so I need to create session 16. And honestly, this is one of the reasons that we try to do lots of different things with Lurlink and doing the stream, right? Is that we're trying to, just like everybody else, test what works, what doesn't, what are good ways of doing things or not, right? This is still a product very much in development. So we're probably going to look at this and say, hey, we'd like to tweak some things about the way this timeline works based upon this specific adventure that I'm putting in here and the way I'm trying to use it. Or maybe we're going to come back and be like, there's a better way I could have done this. Let's fix it and do this in a way that makes sense within the confines of what we've got. Two completely valid approaches. So we'll look into both of those options. Because it's important that we be able to see things. And one of the challenges right now is that we're trying to show all those numbers and it's not showing up very well. And also because I've got really long timelines now, in order to be able to see a specific event in here, we're going to have to, like, we're at two completely different scales showing one event versus an entire range like this. The other thing I'd like to be able to note is that we're effectively starting 63 is the beginning of Erastus, right? So that was why 71 becomes the 8th of Erastus, which is when we ended that session. All right, so we've got session 16. We're going to set the time here. This was, yeah, these don't work the way I would think of them. Okay, December. That's completed. So we're going to create another session. So this is the 21st of Erastus. So the 84. All right, so now we're going to do session 17. I think I have 17 in here. Yeah, I have 17 in here. So we're going to add session 17. Why can I not see session 17? Oh, because it's archived. Okay. Roger that. Can I unarchive it? Yep. Save that. I don't want you archived anymore because if I archive you, I can't add you here, which makes sense. So we ended that one at the 27th of Erastus, so 90. Session 18. Session 18. Cool. Session 18 is the 30th of Erastus, so 93. That's the 94 is the 31st of Erastus, so yeah, that's correct. So I haven't screwed up my math yet. Session 19. Yep, we totally have session 19 in here. Cool. And I did not include the ending date yet. So the ending date, we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. So I did track that, right? So I did remember to do that piece. So I haven't actually calculated the XP totals from last session either. I'm a little bit behind on that, it looks like. One of the things that I do also, and looks like I'm a couple sessions behind on this, is I write up a summary of what happened for the players and share that. That's something we're working on adding into LoreLink, so we'll be able to have the session notes and everything right inside of LoreLink. That'll be super exciting to be able to have that. So we added, what did I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, so plus 8 days. So the 30th of Erastus, 31st of Erastus, the 7th of Erodus. Okay. And so 30 plus 8 would be, sorry, I think that's correct. 93 plus 8 is 101. Yeah, cool. Saving the dryad. Okay. Perfect. So now we have all of the sessions tied to the end date of the session so that they will fall into the timeline associated with the month. And I've got the month in here so that I can kind of keep track of things a little bit. I have these intervals as the Pathfinder months. It's somewhat arbitrary, but basically 63 starting at 32 for Serenrith basically means that the start of tracking is effectively Desness. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and toss Desness into here, just so that it doesn't look so weird. And Desness is May, effectively. So 1 to 31, yeah. All right. Oh, and then the short description is, yeah, nothing. I got nothing right now. So that's the start of everything. Cool. That is, I think, good for the day. So thank you all for joining me. Really appreciate you being here and taking a look at this planning session with me. We have been able to do a number of really cool things. We have gone through and calculated I'll just navigate through it. We've gone through and calculated the reputation. Shoot, 1 second. I have the wrong view open. There we go. So we've gone through and added and calculated reputation so that I can keep track of reputation and tag everything that can add and remove reputation for the players. So that was really good. We went through and worked on the villain Turkek and did a little review of the strategy and everything and added the image for Turkek. We went through the sessions, and let's go ahead and change this filter right quick. So we've gone through the sessions and have made sure to add the sessions that we need to be able to track things. We have marked session 19 as completed. 20 is our current active planning session. You saw me select the uncompleted items out of session 19 and move them automatically into session 20 to make it super easy to plan the next session, so that we now have all these uncompleted items and locations in here. So that's the starting point, is going to be starting at Vera's Homestead and moving from there. And we have set up the timelines for Blue Sky Green Earth, which is where we currently are. And we've added all of the different months in here, and also added the sessions at their correct locations within the timeline. So that is a pretty good bit of planning. I have actually 2 full game sessions, just based on the way dates and times work out. 2 full planning sessions are going to, or 2 game sessions are going to happen before the next planning session. So I'm going to have a lot to catch you up on that time. And as I did this last game session, I'm going to make notes about what I would like to prepare and do with the next stream, so that I have stuff to work on with you. So we will be meeting again. Let me check my calendar. It does necessarily the 2 favorite deities. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I like those. Bear with me, looking up my calendar. I have scheduled this already. Yes, it looks like June 10th will be the next stream for this Quest for the Frozen Flame planning session. So I'll be here June 10th. And don't forget, tomorrow, Mark Delacroce will be back with a planning session for the Wild Sea, continuing that from last week's stream. So do please check that out as well. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, and we'll catch you all later.